My sister's robots are in the sand. Isn't that how most of us would write this? Not like this. So let's rewrite it that way. What are we literally saying when we have apostrophe s? What does this literally mean? Like the obvious. State the obvious.
Those robots are the sisters.
They belong to this gal who apparently her name is Lucy, right? Straightforward. This is the most straightforward version of possession. But now look what else we could do with this just by moving that little punctuation mark. Here we go.
Those robots in the sand are my sisters.
Now what does it mean? We have moved the apostrophe over one position, and now we changed, Elliot, the meaning of this.
That means there's multiple sisters and the robots are there.
And collectively they own, or the robots belong to them. Now I will point out that it's a little odd if you have two children to name one Lucy and one Lucille, since Lucy is a shorter form of Lucille. It'd be like naming someone Matthew and Matt in the same family, or Thomas and Tom in the same, or Ben and Benjamin in the same family. A little bit odd, but you know, Ted Ed is edgy. It's very edgy. Okay, so again, I would never say it this way. I would say my sister's robots are in the sand. You move that little apostrophe over, you're meaning something different. This is my favorite one though. Here we go.
Those robots in the sand are my sisters.
Now what are we saying?
They
Again, a little edgy, a little unusual. What are we saying with this sentence? We're saying what, Danny? Yes, it's kind of a blended family situation, right? We've got the robots and we've got the human siblings, and they're all siblings, right? So very progressive of Ted Ed. And again, I wouldn't. And in this case, the way it's put together makes sense. Those robots in the sand are my sisters, right? You kind of have to say it in that order. You're saying something different than you were in the previous ones. Okay, a couple more reminders.
When showing possession, the apostrophe belongs next to the noun that owns or possesses something. The noun can be singular or plural. Proper nouns work too. So if Lucy needs to get her robots under control before we cause mayhem, those dangerous creatures would be Lucy's robots. But what if Lucy was Lucas?
Pay attention to this.
Lucas robots or Lucas's robots? And what if Lucas gave his robots to the Robinson family? Would it be the Robinsons' robots or the Robinsons' robots? The truth is, even grammar nerds disagree on the right thing to do. The use of apostrophe S after a proper noun ending in S is a style issue, not a hard and fast grammar rule. It's a conundrum without a simple answer. Professional writers solve this problem by learning what's considered correct for a publication and doing that. The important thing is to pick one style and stick with it throughout a piece of writing. One more wrinkle. Certain pronouns already have possession built in and don't need an apostrophe. Will help you avoid one of the trickiest snags in English grammar: its versus its. Its only takes an apostrophe when it's a contraction for it is or it has. If you can replace its with one of those two phrases, use the apostrophe.
And that's so confusing, right? Because we've just learned that you use apostrophe S to show possession. This is the grand exception. And it's because they mean two different things, right? You can't have both a contraction and a possessive form spelled the exact same way because you don't know which one you're using. So that's why people get so confused about that. We're going to pause it here because the rest of this is about contractions and we're not going to focus on contractions. I want to talk about this whole thing about words that end in S. So raise your hand if your first name ends in S. Got at least one in here. First name, just one. Okay, so Iris, tell me something that's special to you.
But I can end my name with
No, something that like an object that's special to you. Your violin?
Iris. Yes. Iris violin makes me
So Iris, you have a choice. If your name ends in an S, like you're Elvis or if you're Iris, you have a choice. Either of these is correct, Iris. You can either add an apostrophe S to the end of your name, which kind of makes sense because there's only one Iris. And so you just treat it like she's a singular possessive noun. You add apostrophe S even though there's already an S there. Or you can do the second way, and that is also correct. That's what they were talking about in the video. Either is fine. Here is not what's fine ever. Okay, watch this. People do this.
Oh, what?
Erases.
Now, they don't probably do it to people's first names, but they do it all the time to people's last names. Check this out. Who has a last name that ends in S other than me? Okay, there's a bunch of us. So watch. This is what people do to me, you guys. Makes me crazy. Ms. Evans' cats are mischievous.
Mine is oven.
So what people have done is they have now turned my name into Oven by punctuating it that way. It now implies that my last name is Oven, and it does not. It makes me crazy. Okay, so that's the same with all of you who have names that end in S. This is never right. You have now changed my name. It would be the equivalent of doing what I did with Iris up there. Irene. I've changed her name to Irene, right?
Yeah,
Don't do
I
it.
know.
So instead, I can do S apostrophe S, or I can do this. Just like Iris, I can just do this. Right? I can do either one. Do you guys want to hear my cat story really fast?
There's ovens.
Okay, they've reached a new level of mischievousness. So, you know, when we let them sleep in the bedroom at night, it's all cute until the middle of the night. And then they decide it's playtime. It's time to wake us up and persecute us and try to get fed. But they're so cute when they're falling asleep that we fall for this again and again. Oh, they're so cute. We'll let them sleep with us because they're so cute. And then, 3 a.m. rolls around. Anyway, they were up to their mischief on top of my dresser, which is about this tall, big dresser. Next to the dresser is the laundry basket.
Oh no.
This is important for you to know.
Did they jump
So
in it?
Saturday morning, I go to do my laundry. It's white laundry, so it's going to be at a higher temperature. You should make the water hotter when it's white, right? So I go to do my laundry and I throw my white clothing into the washing machine. And then a couple hours later, my husband comes to me. He's getting ready to put it in the dryer, and he's like, "What the heck? Your contacts are in the wash." I'm like, "What? Your contact lenses are in the wash." And who wears contacts in here? You know, the little packets that come in. He produces 5 of them out of the laundry basket. And I'm like, what? Yes, the cat's knocked the contacts off of the dresser into the laundry basket. I've never considered having to check my laundry basket for contacts before. It hadn't occurred to me. But here's the better part. So I'm like, well, they look okay. You know, they were still intact. The water was, the solution's inside. The foil's still there. I think they're going to be fine, except for the one that got away. My husband was pretty good. He found 5 of them, and guess what? The 6th one went through the dryer too. Went to the dryer. So we'll see how those do. Someone pick that up and say student speaking. So my cats are indeed cute, but they are indeed kind of a pain too. The things they do. All right, back please to your grammar beast, and we're going to let's do this together. I'm going to unlock you all so you can get in here. Please open up to where you were before. Corrections. All right, anybody not unlocked? I think I've got you all unlocked.
I'm
right.
I'm not that big in my grind. Worry about
We're here. You guys, I'm not going to spend nearly this much time on any other day going over grammar beast, but because we are starting a new learning, I want to do this methodically.
Yes,
I'm going to ask you to color code.
when we just right click it, it'll let us edit it the right way.
Can you hold for just a minute? Up here, you're going to highlight, and we're going to do this line by line, but I want you to get used to what the highlighting means because you're going to do this all by yourself tomorrow. First sentence. Meanwhile, Gertrude Giraffe's plane touched down in Hogtown, Florida. Would you figure out where the apostrophe goes? What's showing possession? Do it in your own, and then highlight it yellow because it's singular. What word is possessive? And remember, you're going to check, but you're going to look at the word next to it and ask yourself, oh, does this thing belong to that thing? It does. Okay. Apostrophe S.
Just never mind. It was like about the editing thing.
About the what?
Like on there, it shows us how we can edit it.
Meanwhile,
Edit.
Oh, you mean with the underlines?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, Joshua is pointing out, use your OneNote clues. It's going to give you some clues, right? All right. Where does the apostrophe go? Quentin.
It's not about that. My computer, it seemed that you unlocked it, but then it just got locked again.
Well, that's fun. Okay, let's unlock you. Anybody else get locked again? I think you're the only one. Now you should be good. Keller, you're locked too. Irish, you're locked. At least it says you're locked. You should be okay now. Okay, back to this. All right, so can you, somebody answer this first one? Yes, Grace.
In giraffe.
And Grace, how are you going to check to make sure that that's correct? What are you going to look at?
Next to it says plane.
And you're going to ask yourself, does the plane belong to the giraffe? Yes. Now, you guys remember when I say belong to? It's not literal ownership, right? Richard Giraffe does not literally own this plane. We are showing a relationship between the two words. It's the plane that she got off of. It is her plane for the moment. Yes.
My computer just locked.
What is going on?
What?
I go to the bathroom.
Can you wait till we're done correcting?
Okay.
All right. Last call. Anybody else locked? You should all be fine. Okay. Back we go. All right. Next sentence. As she steps into the human air, Gertrude felt beads of sweat forming on her long neck. What's going on in that sentence? It needs to be fixed immediately. It's disturbing. It's disturbing. Got it, Ben?
In beads, there's an apostrophe.
And why is there an apostrophe in beads? There should not be an apostrophe in beads.
They're
Right?
making it.
And
its
remember,
own-
you're going to look at the word next to it, and if you see a word like of, you'd be saying to yourself, well, of cannot be possessed by a noun. That makes absolutely no sense. This is just a plural noun. Would you please highlight beads and make it green? It's green. It is a plural noun with no possession being shown.
They locked it unlocked. Like,
Just now?
yeah. I mean, it's fine now, but it like.
Is it fine now? Because I'm going to keep going if it's fine now. Okay, so I'm not interrupting this. She was still seething with anger at her fans' total disrespect. What word there is needing to be possessive? What do you think, Mason? You may not know what sentence we're on. She was still seething with anger at her fans' total disrespect. What word ends in S? You're always going to go for the words that end in S. Do you have it in front of you on your computer too?
No.
She was still seething with anger at her fans' total disrespect. Where are you going to put it in fans? Where does the apostrophe go in fans? It does go at the end, but let me ask you this. Would you know that unless you read the next sentence? I'd say no. If you just read that sentence, it could either be one fan who's being disrespectful, or it could be multiple. We've got to read the next sentence. Gertrude could not believe that her greatest rival received more votes than she did for the Formula One Hall of Fame. Now we know for sure, right? Fans is plural. So as you pointed out, Mason, it's going to go after the S. We've got another problem, and we're going to go ahead and color this one blue. This is a plural possessive. The total disrespect is owned by all the fans. They have let Gertrude down. She is salty. Fans, total disrespect. We've got a problem in the next sentence, though. Gertrude could not believe that her greatest rival received more votes than she did for the Formula One Hall of Fame. What's going on that needs to be fixed immediately?
You need to take out the apostrophe.
And you're going to test that by looking at the next word, which is than. Than cannot be possessed or owned. It's a comparison word, right? No can do. So you're going to get rid of the apostrophe. It's just a plural noun. Do not start putting apostrophes in words that are just plural. So we're going to make that